I'm sitting in the gazebo this morning because you know what I hear? Nothing. There's no machinery, there's no car noise, there's just birds. And we're getting to the time of the year when it gets light out really early, which is my favorite time of the year. Now, if the temperatures could just match my excitement, that would be great, because it is cold. Right now, I'm just really excited about all the possibilities. You know, it's the time of the year where, yes, you're stressed because there's a million things to do, but you're also at like the cusp of everything turning green. And this whole brown field you see behind me will be plants, just flowers and green things and food, and it's just so exciting. I love growing food, and now this year I get to grow food for everybody else too, and I hope that everyone else is excited about it as I am. Especially in an uncertain time, like the times that we're in right now, it feels really good to like know that you have food at home, and your food at home is way better than any food you can get anywhere else. Honey is obviously ready to get milk this morning. She's waiting at the gate, screaming at me for the last 20 minutes. I know I'm late, but it's Saturday. All of the cows are pretty well ready to move this morning. They're out of grass in this pasture. And how I know before, well, they're not really out of grass, but they're out of the ones that they like. How I know is that they stand and scream at me. And Honey's been in crazy heat, so I always keep a stick with me. You'd be nice. Because as much as you think you know your cow, you don't know your cow when their hormones are going. All right, is everybody ready? Come on, Peanut. Candy. Come on. Not right there. I gotta go over. Wow, that was exciting. You hungry, honey? So I got all of my flowers started yesterday. So today I'm working on all of my cucumbers, squash, and okra. I also need to do another round of lettuce. But for summer stuff, this is what I'm sowing right now. And I'm using the 2-inch soil blocker for my okra. I can fit 50 blocks in a regular 10-20 tray. And I'm probably gonna do 2 trays of okra. You know, all you moms out there can relate. Like, I went inside for 2 seconds to grab something, and then every kid in the house needed something from me. So I made a detour. But I did make some, I'm usually a hot coffee girl, because that's just the habit. You gotta have hot coffee in the morning while you're getting ready for your day. But I made this as a treat. It's got like raw, it's just cold brew coffee, and then I poured that over ice, and then you take the raw cream from your cow and you put some maple syrup in it, maybe a dash of cinnamon, and you blend it like with the frother, and it makes it all frothy. And I have my own cold foam cold brew at home that's way better for you. So now that I've got some fuel, let's start some seeds today. I have a question. If anyone out there is watching and you know the answer to my question, please share your secrets. So I love pickled okra, and I've only ever had it like from the store until last year. I made my own pickled okra. How do you get the slime out of the okra before you pickle it? Because the okra that I buy at like Rural King in the jar isn't slimy, and the pickled okra I made at home is so slimy I can't do it. Like, you pull like an okra out and there's like a mucilage slime string on it, and there's a lot of things that don't bother me, but that, for whatever reason, bothers me. I think it's gross. So, does anyone know how to pickle okra without the goo? The salad that I'm planning on growing this summer is the Salanova Sweet Crisp series. They have like a red Sweet Crisp, a green one. I don't know. I bought the like variety pack of that from Johnny's. But it makes it sowing really easy because they're like little pelleted seeds, and all I have to do is dibble a hole and drop them in. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I don't have to fight with the tiny lettuce seed. But I'm growing this because I've heard really good things about it being super heat tolerant, and I'm trying my best to grow lettuce all season. We'll see if it goes according to plan, but so far, I hope. I plan on using maybe some shade cloth to get new transplants established when it's really hot. And I also plan on interplanting, so planting a tall crop, just one row down the center of a bed, and then on the edge, the north side, to plant lettuce that way, so that it's somewhat shaded in the hot parts of the day. We'll see if it works. I mean, this is all about trying new things to see what works, because you don't know what works and what doesn't until you try, and every area is different. I've seen other people do this, but I don't know if it will work for me. For things like cucumbers, squash, and melons, things that really benefit from their roots not being disturbed, ideally you would direct seed all these crops, but for my first succession, since I want things extra early this year, since I'm selling it and not just growing for me, I'm going to try to transplant them. And the best way that I can think of to transplant them is in the soil balls. So 18 will fit in a 10-20 tray. I do 3 across and then 6 rows. I think this will be the best option for transplanting those things that don't like their roots disturbed, like all of those in that family that I mentioned. I'm just making a ball. Super easy, goes by pretty fast. Turn on some music and forget what you're doing. And then I'm probably just gonna stick like 2 seeds, especially for melons, things that typically you grow in a hill, so that they can sprawl out. I'll probably just put 2 or 3 seeds in the top of each and then plant them probably 6 feet apart so that they can get all the room they need to sprawl. I'm going to, I think, trellis all of my cucumbers this year so I can plant more closer together because they can grow up I'll probably just do a cattle panel trellis or something along those lines. I am gonna walk out to the garden this morning and see how everything is going. Is anybody else like me? And when you have crops that grow underground, especially like potatoes, or even like when you sow like your first bean seeds and you're like, every single time I think that it's gonna fail. Every single time without a doubt. It never does, but you have to like dig around in the ground to see if it's gonna germinate or not. That's how I feel about potatoes. So I am going to dig in here and see what's happening under the soil. I see growth right here. So what I'm gonna do with these potatoes is, because we made a deep furrow, or about 4-inch furrow, 4 to 6 inches deep. And then we just filled the furrow back with compost. So as they grow, I'm gonna hill up the extra soil right here up and over so that the potato plant can get a nice like deep root system, because the roots is what grows the potatoes. So the more roots, the more potatoes in theory, right? And then after I've hilled it up once or twice, I will come through with a really thick layer of mulch. I'm thinking straw or hay, if I can find either of those things unsprayed. And that will help keep the weeds down, as well as keep the soil cool for the potatoes. And also, you know, like when you grow potatoes and the ones towards the top have like the green stuff that you're not supposed to eat, that I've never died from. I'm gonna put it that way. The mulch on top will help prevent that from happening. So for the last couple days, especially yesterday, it was overcast all day and misty, which is the perfect weather to settle in these transplants. Everything is looking really good. It's all pretty much perked up. When you first plant stuff, sometimes it can look kind of sad after a few hours of, you know, being disturbed and put in a new place, but everything is looking really good. And then I'm gonna take a peek under this cover to see how my lettuce looks. Oh yeah, look at under there. All of those look really good, and to be honest, lettuce grows super fast. I'm probably gonna be harvesting this lettuce in just like 30 days, so that's exciting. That's like food right now, feels like. When you first start gardening, you're like, how long is this gonna take? And then when you add a million things to your list of things to do, time goes really fast. So you're surprised at how fast things grow then, when you're not just looking at the same 5 plants every single day to see if they've grown. You really notice changes faster. Well, I think this is where I'm gonna end today's video. So thank you guys for watching. Until next time.